lot of people are unfamiliar with car maintenance. They're unfamiliar with the fact that when your headlights look old and worn, it's because they're plastic, and plastic oxidizes and looks faded, and they don't know that for $20, you can make them sparkle like almost new instead of having to buy new headlights. Additionally, some folks don't pay attention to the fact that the smallest details make a world of difference.
I mean, seriously, how often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Today, we're restoring the shoes, or in this case the eyes of the car, and helping Andy escape from Shawshank. You don't need to spend a ton of money, take your car to a professional detailer, and not be able to drive it for a while. You simply sand down the headlights with everything included in the kit, polish them up, apply a coat, and the headlights shine and glimmer like when your car was new, for $20. If possible, remove your headlights. Look up whether your car has easily removable headlights and follow that procedure. If they're not removable or involve too much like taking the bumper half apart, tape around your headlights with masking tape. We're going to be sanding and polishing the headlights and you don't want to damage the paint around them. If you want, as an added measure of protection, you can tape off around the headlight lenses if you get them off. Wash the headlight lenses and then spray them down with surface activator onto each headlight lens until they are completely covered. Let this liquid sit on each lens for about 50 seconds. Immediately, you'll see that the yellow gunk starts to break down. Wash it off completely with water to remove loosened corrosion. In the kit, there's 400 grit, 1000 grit, and 2000 grit sandpaper. You can go beyond the kit, and I bought 1000, 2000, and even 3000 grit sandpaper for wet sanding separately for an even clearer finish. Using a steady stream of water, we get a hose, opening the water just enough to let it trickle, and wet sand our headlights. If this is your first time wet sanding, then don't worry. The sandpaper can handle it, and it feels funny at first, but then it's kind of cool. The headlights will get murky when you sand them with the 400 or 1000 grit, but as you work your way up in the grit, the headlights will get clear again, so don't worry if they look cloudy. Wet sand your headlights using even circular motions, starting with the lowest number, 400 per the kit, then with 1000, then sand with 2000 grit sandpaper. After the 3000, they're starting to look like what we want them to after the end result, but when it dries, it's still going to be partially murky. Last 3000 treatment on this one. Lastly, polish with the clarifying compound using even circular motions. Rinse and dry. UV clear coat. Put on gloves and get one of the included pads. Apply the UV block clear coat to the included pad and wipe it onto the headlight, applying a nice coat in one sweeping motion, then the next coat, partially overlapping the old coat, and work your way across the headlight. This is the hardest part because it impacts how the finished result will look, and nobody gets it perfect the first time around. If you mess this part up, then don't worry. You can remove the coat using rubbing alcohol and try again, or you can wait a year and then redo the headlights if they fade again. Don't go back and wipe across existing coats. This will mess up how the wet UV block looks. Letting it cure on the UV rays a little bit. With the wipe on, there is some streaking that I couldn't get perfect because of the gauze pads. There's a little bit streaking here, as well as here where I went. But I can actually see the headlight itself. And there, we heard it click into position. Night and day difference. The longevity of the kit and UV blocker and restoration can vary. If you leave your car outside, the coat and kit should last up to a year with a constant beat down from the sun. If you garage your vehicles like I do, it lasts much longer. I filmed this video about a year ago, am editing it now, and my headlights are still brilliant. I did the headlights on my Boxster 2.5 years ago, and they still look great, but that thing lives in the garage. Thanks for tuning in, hope this helped, and subscribe for more.